Hello everybody, I hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and we should start up, or continue, or wrap up our day by playing a video game. We're going to be doing Klonoa Door to Phantomile for the Sony PlayStation today. It's a very fun, exciting game that's unfortunately kind of hard to come by. It was a fairly rare game due to just a lot of things really. It sold well in Japan, but it didn't really sell too well in the US just due to advertising and how many copies they made and all this sort of stuff. It's not important though. What's important is we're going to be playing this game. It's a very exciting game. If you can't find a way to pick it up for the PlayStation, they did make a remake for the Wii. It's got a little bit extra features like extra unlockables and stuff, and the graphics are shinier of course, but we're sticking to the original PlayStation one because it's what I have and what I know. And start off this new game here. There's no save. Yeah, we'll make the save file. So we'll put it right here, and we get to enter a name. So I'm not feeling creative or anything. Let's just roll with Klonoa. That'll work. Just type that in, and wait. Shit. It's not a. Okay. L. L is okay. J is not an L. Got it. Got it. Here we go. We're done. We're good. Klonoa is the name is correct. It's a good name. We're set. Okay, set the options. The options are all fine. It's just adjust the screen and the sound and your controls or everything. They're all perfect. No, don't worry about it. It's all fine. So let's start the game off. We've got this cool little like secondary title screen and an intro cutscene, and they're pretty cool. Gives you this little poetic passage here. The game has a very dream emphasis, and you'll see that more as the game goes on, and I think it's cool. I wonder what that ring's all about. We'll find out. The ring's important too. But for now, we're just gonna see this butterfly. It's pretty cool looking, but Klonoa scares it off with this crazy looking wing ear things. Well, look, he's so happy. He's just a happy-go-lucky, not caring guy. Oh, God, what in the... Well, maybe that's worth looking at. Let's see what happened. So there's that ring. It's that giant ring that was floating around in space where that passage was being read to us. Let's see if we can get that out of the ground. It looks pretty stuck in there. And maybe get it to... Not working. Nope, wait, there it goes. Alright. So this isn't any sort of ring. It's not like a sonic ring or something. It's got a jewel in the end of it, and inside of that jewel is some ring spirit thing. That guy's name is Hupo, or I honestly don't know how to pronounce it. I really should have looked that up before. It turns out the Wii version has English voice acting, which is strange. You can change it to what it is in this game, which is Phantomile or something, but I don't know, it's a preference thing. The characters in this game, they don't talk in English or Japanese or any discernible language. They just make this like cute series of grunts and moans and whatever. It's like Banjo-Kazooie, except like it actually sounds like they're talking instead of making the same sound over and over. Anyway, that was all a dream, except that Hupo is real, so that's good. Klonoa's having these weird dreams about all this crap going on, but at least we know Hupo's there. So, uh-oh. That's just like his dream. What the heck are the odds of that? Something just crashed into the bell tower. Bell Hill, it's a very creative name for the hill with the bell on top of it. Anyway, let's go check that out. So there we go, let's get started on the first level. Call Hupo into our ring. He's our ring spirit. He's going to be helping us out. We'll start up Vision 1-1. And the way this game works, you grab these enemies here. It's a 2D game set in a 3D world. I think it was one of the first, if not the first, to do this. But, you know, you see this in plenty of games now, but, you know, this was fresh and creative at the time. You run in two dimensions, but everything kind of wraps around 3D. For example, you could pick up those enemies, throw them into the background, you break that egg open, and there's a jewel in there. But how this works is Klonoa has that giant ring, and you could shoot what's called wind bullets out of it. The wind bullets will break apart, like, items trapped in the bubbles and everything like that, but you can't destroy the enemies outright by shooting them. Instead, they get puffed up full of air, they inflate, and you could carry them around and use them to either throw at other enemies or to double jump. So it's a creative, very creative use of taking care of your enemies. You don't just get them out of the way, you actually have to use them to your advantage in order to get further into the game or solve puzzles or whatever it is you need to do. These things right here, I've already gotten one of them, but I'll show you this right there. If I break it open. There's 6 of them hidden in every level. Depending on the area you're in, there are going to be different people that come out of that, different symbols, but if you get all 6 of them in every level, cool stuff happens, so we're going to be going for everything. On top of that, there are 150 gems in every single level. The green gems are worth 1, the blue ones are worth 5, and if you collect them all, I'm actually not sure if something happens or not, but we're going to be doing it anyway. And we're in some tower, and there's some guy up there. It's an old man. Shouldn't be pissing him off. So I'll jump on down. Tell us that we shouldn't be in his dumb, stupid tower. It's not a very good tower anyway. But he's blue, and he's crazy, essentially. So this chick, Lafise, is this diva, and she sings the song of rebirth, and everything gets all better. So she's destined to do great things, and on top of that, apparently she's smoking hot because this crazy old man wants to be with her. And in order to do that, he's going to build a giant tower to go to the Moon Kingdom, which I can only assume is up in the moon. So he's going to be doing that, trying to get his ass up to the moon to be with some girl who he probably doesn't have a chance with because he's like 40 years older than her. Anyway, it's not important. He's getting back up there to keep building, and we'll continue on. We don't need to be here anymore. That was weird. So yeah, but the diva thing is important. She's very important to restoring the world as we know it. Not that it looks very bad right now. I don't see why she'd need to do it. It's a pretty happy looking place. We'll go up here first. It's cool that the pass will branch out like that because it's in 3D, but it's not in 3D. We'll go up this way because this is where we want to go first. There's special things over here. Just wait for these spiky guys. You can't inflate them with wind bullets. They aren't going to do anything because they're covered in spikes or something. But you can't do it. You just avoid them. They're obstacles. There's another one of our little saved dudes. I wish I knew what to call this. I'll figure out a name at some point. I'm going to be rescuing a lot of them. And I also didn't explain that the clocks there are checkpoints. If you die, you're going to go back to the last one you burst open. Continue down here. He's got 6 hit points. I'm gonna try to just... Okay, this part right here is tough. You gotta break that thing open, all the gems start flashing. So while he's dancing around in the corner, everything's worth twice as many gems as he'd normally collect. So, it seems like a pretty cool little add-on thing, but if you're going for a perfect gem count, it's really damn difficult, because you have to get everything perfect, especially in the later on levels. Because there's a very set amount of gems that you have to get with them, and if you don't, then you're going to screw up everything, and you have to start the level over. And it's difficult. But every time you beat a level, all of the little dudes that you rescued will come out and start singing a song, and then if you get all the gems, these guys will come out and start throwing confetti everywhere. It's pretty awesome. So we'll save our game. We get the opportunity to do that after every level, which is very nice. We'll start off Vision 1-2 right here. And this is a pretty place. I really like the level. The song's wonderful. The soundtrack in this game is amazing. I actually own the legitimate soundtrack of this, and it's a very good game soundtrack. So there's another one of those ×2 fairy things, which means we gotta work at getting all of these. Shit, when I run out, we are... Okay, good. The earlier levels is not too bad. They give you like just enough time to get everything. You can make a couple mistakes and still collect them all. But the later levels, they give you just enough time to wrap everything else, and it gets less and less obvious which gems they want you to get in order to get the perfect 150 score there. So kind of difficult, but we'll get them all. Don't worry about that. It's not an easy task, but we'll still do it. So this part right here is pretty cool because it kind of breaks out of that 2D to 3D thing. This cart will start moving forward, and it's a little difficult to get all those gems sometimes. You just hop up there and get them. Let's explain more of the basic Klonoa gameplay, because I haven't really had a chance to do that yet. I mean, I'm sure it's obvious enough at this point. I'm sure I've done most of it. But, you know, every 100 gems you get, you're going to get a 1-up. He's got 6 hit points. Those hearts right there will grow smaller before disappearing completely. If you're playing the Wii version, it's up to 10 hit points for some reason. I don't know why they felt the need to make it easier, but they did it. Didn't get that. There we go. Hit the spike guy both times. There, perfect. What else? Klonoa has the ability not only to jump, like any other platform game character ever, but to hover if you hold the button down. I'll flap his wings around. That big guy right there, he's way too big to pick up. It will still inflate him, but you have to throw an enemy at him to destroy him. And he'll pop into 7 gems you can collect, so don't forget about doing that. This part right here is kind of difficult. You gotta jump over those initial 6 gems, so you can collect them with the ×2 thing. And then you just charge on in. Get everything with the help of that bird, the flying creature. And we'll continue on, because we got them all there. Thing is, if you ever see one of those ×2 fairy, whatever they are, you really have to think about what you're going to do with it before you actually just break it open. Because it's a very limited time frame. It might be difficult to get all the... Oh crap, I need an enemy. There's a hidden egg. The hidden eggs you really have to watch out for because they're hidden very well. Usually you could see the shadow that it's making, and you just kind of jump in the direction where the shadow is, and you'll be able to find it. But if you aren't paying very close attention, it is really easy to miss some of them, and unfortunately some of them do carry gems. So you really have to know where they are if you want to get a perfect 150 gem record on this. Break that open. See, there were gems inside. We could have missed that. We didn't. It's okay. Break open that checkpoint. Keep going through this little mine area. This is pretty cool. I like how the path weaves through this. So you pick up those guys. When they jump on the ground, they shoot spike balls out. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. Go this way. We don't want to go up just yet. I'll show you what that is later, but we're not going that way. I go around because there's a whole bunch of items and stuff. I didn't mean to throw him ahead. Grab him, throw him into the background. There's another one of our little dudes we gotta save. So jump up on here, it's an extra life. The rest of the gems for the level, it's our 150. And it's cool because you just jump back onto the path and you're back to where you came from. And that's really nice. So throw him against the little X on that block there. It's gonna topple it over, make it fall down, and we could use it as a bridge to get across. Break that checkpoint open. It's just a little bit more of this level left. Jump over those running dudes. Get that up there. It's our last little civilian that we're rescuing. And get that one up, because why not? Can't have too many of those. So here we go. If you're hurting towards the end of the level, they got some hearts for you here, so just pick up these bouncing guys. Grab those hearts. The little pink ones there are worth half a heart. And then the yellow ones that you'll see are worth 3 halves, so you get like 1.5 hearts out of that. And yeah, we're at the top of Bell Hill now, and shut the hell up, because there's something going on here. Doesn't sound good. These guys sound evil. I don't like that. And there's that chick we were hearing about that sings the song of Everything's Alright. It's silly. It's a silly song. That doesn't sound like fun. So this is Gaudius. He's the big evil dude of the game. He kind of reminds me of Wise Man from Nights into Dreams, if you've ever played that, because he's got that giant cloak thing, and it's honestly kind of the only reason. I don't know, maybe his face looks... It's been so long since I've played that, I can't remember. But the two of them are very similar to me, not to mention the whole dream thing going on in both games, so... But that's Gaudius. He's got a sidekick there, Joka, and you're gonna be running into him a lot through the game. Him and his big, dumb grin. The red teeth always kind of scared me. Like, it's kind of frightening, but... He's a weird, floozy kind of a, you know... terrible sidekick. He's not gonna do any help. He's not gonna do any good either, so... Alright, so he's got Lafitte, and that's not good. And Joka knows where we are, so that's also not good. Let's Might as well go beat him up. Oh, look at Klonoa's all psyched. He's ready to fight him. He's all pumped up, ready to go. And of course, Joker doesn't ever do anything himself, so he's got this guy here. What's his name? He's got a weird name. I think he says it. We'll find out. Anyway, it's this weird-looking creature. We've got to fight him. Rongo Lango, that's it. Anyway, yeah, they make that weak point incredibly obvious. This is the first boss, so don't worry about it, but as if his big glowing backside isn't obvious enough that you have to hit him. Joker tells you not to hit it, because it's his weak point. But Rongo Lango here will jump about and try to crush you. I thought you could hit that bell and get some health, but maybe it only works sometimes. Okay, we don't need it that bad. But you pick up these enemies. The little red dudes, they're called moves. I don't know what the other creatures are called, but at the very least, I know what one enemy's name is, and that'll be helpful. But you pick up these moves, and you want to watch out for all of Rongo's attacks here. He'll hit the ground, you just jump over that. And wait for him to jump over you, throw a move into his back, and before you know it, he's all dead. The enemy health bar is really cool looking too, that thing that was in the left corner of the screen, because it's all crystal looking. It's neat, I like it. But we beat him, Joker runs off because he's a little wimp, and something fell out of the bell when he hit it on the way out. So, it's a moon-shaped pendant. Seems like it could be pretty important, considering that she's the goddess of the moon temple, or whatever was going on earlier. But Grandpa will tell us what's going on. It's a crest of the Moon Kingdom, and that does sound important. So it's a mystical kingdom. Apparently, it doesn't. I don't know. They talk about it in legend, but nobody actually knows if it exists or not. Which makes that guy Blue building the tower even crazier. But, you know, there's people like that, both in Klonoa's world and in real life, that are just super crazy. I'm sure you've met at least one of them. Alright, so we gotta go talk to Grandma about this. To Granny, excuse me, that's what they actually call her. Well, yeah, Grandpa's pretty stumped, this whole Moon Kingdom nonsense. He doesn't know what's going on. We'll talk to Granny and see if she knows anything. And Granny lives out in the forest, so that'll be our next stop. We rescued 6 more of these guys. Every time you rescue more of them, it's gonna lengthen that song at the end a little bit until it eventually just forms some huge melody. And it's really cool, actually, that it adds a bit more to it the more of them you rescue. So now we're in the forest, and the forest isn't looking too good. Everything's kind of withering up and dying here. It's not how forests are supposed to look. There's something wrong with this, and we'll get to the bottom of it. So these guys, these are cool looking. Look at them. They kind of bounce around and roll around for a little while. You can't actually catch them with your wind bullets until they pop out of their shell. So you just gotta avoid them and be careful up until then. Wait! Something to the left here. Grab this guy, we'll fly ourselves upwards. And one more of them, get us up to the right. Not that we needed it, but, you know, completion's sake, it feels good to collect things. You know how it is, being a platformer and everything. Jump up here, I think there's, yeah, a few more of these. And our first civilian of the level. So see, he's different looking now. There's a different symbol for it. And he looks like some crazy little native tribesman dude. So yeah, like I said, depending on the place you're in, you'll just get different looking guys, and they're all the same thing. It just kind of adds to the depth of the world that way, you know, because not everywhere is going to have the same people, and it's pretty cool. Get over the shield guy. You can't attack him directly on, obviously, because he's got the shield, but if you jump from behind him, you can grab him, and it'll be just like any other enemy. So this part right here, you kind of got to be tricky with. You got to hit the enemy, and then hit that fairy, and then collect not only all the gems down there, but all the gems that the giant enemy left. So you really got to think about that. Go up this way, and there's a locked door. You know it's locked because it's got a key on the side of it. The key means you need a key to get into the door, and this guy's going to stop and yell at us. It's one of those native men dudes that we've been saving from the bubbles. We want to see Granny, so maybe he'll let us through. He's been overprotective lately because there's weird people going through the forest. So we'll grab this key, and we can use it to go through the door, but we won't just do it just yet. It's And we got some more stuff to explore to the left. So we'll grab that key. See you later, guard dude. Just jumps on out of there. He kills himself or something, I don't know. Now that you have the key, my job's done. So grab him. And we could just jump up here. And that's cool because, like, the little path changes. Your camera will swoop around, you got a whole new path to fill. That's what I like about the whole 2D, 3D thing. Is like while you're moving in two directions, you're not necessarily limited to those two directions. So it's not a full 3D game. I mean, you still have the whole 2D platformer, but it's not limited by that. You could make your area all like fleshed out and large and everything, and not have to worry about being confined by just the 2D plane. It's a really creative idea, and a lot of games have gone and done it since. And I really think that, like, just platforming games have benefited from a large way. You'll see, like, even if they're not truly 3D. Like, you guys saw me play Sonic Colors, maybe. If you didn't, then, you know. I'm not gonna say go and watch it, but go and watch it. But yeah, like, Sonic does it. There are a few other games around this time that did it. I can't think of because I don't do my research. There's a couple legs in the background there. One of them's got a heart, but the other one's kind of moving around. So we'll see if we can hit it. It aim's terrible. There we go. Alright, it's another civilian. We got 4 of them now. And look at this. Sometimes enemies can be in the background, so you gotta face yourself backwards and then shoot your wind bullet out. You aren't gonna get them from the sides, it's just like any other enemy. You gotta think three-dimensionally, and it's a cool idea, it really is. Grab him, we didn't need him, whatever, get him out of here. So open up that door, we got the key for that. And here's another cool thing is, if you're carrying an enemy and you go through a door, you still get to hold on to that enemy. It's not gonna disappear just because you went through a door into another place. I mean, the game does think about that. They know what they're doing with that, because some puzzles require you to take an enemy from another area and then bring them into something else. And some doors will be too low for you to carry an enemy into, because there'll be a ceiling in the way, and you can't do that. There's our 5th civilian. We're getting close to the end of the level, you know that. So these things... The cool thing, one of the really cool things I like about Klonoa is the controls just seem very solid. You never have to worry about where you're gonna land or how your character is gonna react to something. You just kind of know, and it feels natural. Those leaves back there, I feel are a perfect example, because I could think of plenty of platformers that I'd be super unsure to jump on those. But in Klonoa, they float back and forth, and they look like they're gonna react to your movement, or just that something weird's gonna happen to them. But you just kind of feel like you know where they're going to be the whole time, and you know that you're going to land on them safely. There's plenty of levels later on that have very small platform areas to land on, and if you know any other game, you'd just be really nervous about jumping on those platforms, but for some reason in Klonoa it just feels natural. So there's this guy who was hiding behind here for some reason. He's a soldier from somewhere, but he's not going to let us go through here because it's all withered and dead, and there's no water coming through, so that doesn't help us at all. The soldier from Jugpot, the Water Kingdom, so he should know where the water is. What are you doing with it? I think something's up with Jugpot. It's a secret, though, you big fat jerk. Oh, so there is something wrong with it. Saving the king. Oh, you big fat blabbermouth. You're the worst soldier ever. So, get on out of here. He's kicking us out, but maybe we should check out Jugpot Kingdom, because obviously something isn't right there. So yeah, Vision 2-1 cleared, and 2-2 we're going to check out Jugpot Kingdom and see what the hell happened to all the water. It's probably a very good reason why this forest is dying. So the 6 little tribesmen that we saved are all dancing, they're all playing their instruments, and making the song a little longer. And some fireworks, because we got all the gems. And let's save that game. Alright. Saves all wrapped up. Let's continue on to Vision 2-2. Backwards waterfall. That sounds pretty strange. So yeah, something that you should keep in mind with Klonoa, the dude doesn't like water. He doesn't react to it very well. he's not going to straight up die if you touch any of this water here, but he's going to be pushed back by a lot of it, so. And that's... Huh. It's going up. That's what the backwards waterfall meant. It's not the direction water logically flows. I don't understand how that would work. Where's the water all coming from if it's going... Anyway, it's... You've got to fix this. This isn't natural. Here's this guy here. Sneak behind him. Hit him with your wind bullet. Grab him, but wait for this ball to go back to the right. There's some stuff up here. We like stuff. Stuff is good to collect. Go up here. It's our first civilian for the area. He looks like a little soldier dude. He's in that purple outfit. There's that spider. He launches spikes out of his ass. So be careful of that. Those... I don't care where they come from. A spike ball is a spike ball, and that shit's gonna hurt. So it's our second civilian down here. We use one of those enemies to jump down. Because the double jump, you really got to keep in mind with this. And they use it a lot later on, is when you do the double jump. Not only do you get that second jump, but you're throwing the enemy downwards as well. So you could use that to your advantage to hit things below you, to, you know, like break open items, destroy enemies, stuff like that. There's another civilian here. Get those gems, just 15 of them just sitting there. Blue gems are awesome. So there's this guy, we could use him too. If you notice that little platform there that we just went under, you'll notice that it was kind of shaped on one end but sharp on the other. If you go underneath a platform at an angle, the enemy can kind of, that you're carrying will kind of squish down and you can carry him through more narrow areas. But you can't just suddenly squish him down yourself, like the platform itself has to do it, so we could carry an enemy through one side of that, but not the other, is basically what I'm trying to say here. You gotta think about where you're carrying your enemies. Grab him, throw him by accident. Grab another one, they just keep on coming. Use him to double jump over this way. And another checkpoint. So let's see here, there's another one of those fairy guys we're gonna use that double jump thing I was talking about, throw him down, hit that fairy, and then grab that big blue gem with the double jump. Alright, got all the gems we need there, that taken care of. Let's use more of the... They're teaching you the double jump thing here, a whole lot of it. So there's those enemies, and you can't just grab them from the side because they're on those narrow platforms. Throw something downwards, get them out of the way, and then you can use the platform. You can bounce it back by those. The balls will bounce you back, watch out for that. Just jump over this way, because both ways will get you on the platform. Hit that checkpoint. It's in the foreground. Every once in a while, they like to remind you that, like, shit's in 3D, even though it's not. So sometimes you gotta go backwards or forwards or front to back. That was pretty close. I'm lucky I landed on that. Jump on the ball here. This will take us over to the left. There's another civilian. It's 5 out of 6. And jump on back to the right. And let's see here. Go up here. We can use these birds to jump up and get the remaining gems. Sit in front of these waterfalls. And see that tunnel right there? You couldn't have taken an enemy with you there because it's just too small. It's too narrow to carry something into. And this part's pretty difficult. It's a water slide area. It's not difficult. I shouldn't have said that, but if you're going for all the gems, you do have to be careful with it, because there's no going back after this. Once you go forward, you can't just climb back up the waterfall, because the current's too strong. So this, we got a giant dude with a shield. So hit him from behind, it'll stun him and make him lose his shield, but obviously it's not going to kill him, because he's just way too big. So throw that enemy at him, collect all the gems that come out. But the cool thing about the giant enemies is you could also use them as a platform. So we'll hit them from behind again, jump up on top of them, and we want to keep them that way. So grab this enemy, run on over here. Shit! Okay, God, that was close. If you leave them all inflated for too long, eventually they're going to snap out of it and come back to their natural state. So you really got to be quick with that if you're going to use them as a platform. You got to keep hitting them, knock him back. I don't want to wait for you to walk around. There we go. Yeah, just as long as you're quick with it, or you just keep hitting him with a wind bullet, he'll stay inflated. But the second that you leave him alone for too long, he'll snap out of it. So watch out. Collect all those with your little hover. All right, here we go. So the spike guys are in 3D too. I think that's a cool idea, because you gotta be careful with how they're rotating around. And here we go, it's the end of the level. We got all the gems, we got all the civilians, and there's a fish stuck in a cage there. You want me to hit the switch? Like this switch right here? You want me to hit it? I'll do that for you. I'll hit it for you. Get you back into the water. I'm glad you could breathe air, because who knows how long you were in that thing. Any other fish would have died long before. I saved a fish. You're welcome. Something weird's happening here. Somebody came around and jacked up the castle, all sorts of fierce, and locked that poor fish in a cage. Why'd you put a fish in a cage? What's a fish gonna do? Seriously. So, her mommy's gone. We gotta go and save her. Hugh makes some ridiculous assumption that she's under an evil spell, but you know what? That assumption is 100% correct. She actually is. We're gonna go and save her. So she introduces herself as Carol, and we gotta go save Carol's mommy from evil, horrible spells, which is something that we're gonna do. We'll go inside of this giant shell here, because that's where the kingdom is. It's a strange place for a kingdom, but I guess it's fitting for a water place. Get another one of these. This is cool looking, I think, just the way they use the coloring and the shadows there. Anyway, we're in the kingdom now. It's the castle. It's not a very... I don't know. It's not a very impressive castle. We got this guy, and he's evil looking. He's got these big green glowing eyes. He's Seedoff, and he looks pretty pissed off. So Gaddy has informed him of us, and knows that we mean at least a little bit of business. And there's Pamela. I'm gonna assume that she's Carol's... Yep, Carol's mom. Alright. She's a bigger fish, and she's also pretty evil looking. So, alright, here's Vision 2-2's boss. Let's take him out. So he starts off riding that fish in the middle of the area. He'll get let out a cry and then jump towards us. So whenever he starts yelling out like that, just move out of the way. You got these spike balls coming out of both directions here. As long as you just jump over them, shouldn't be a problem. They're just there to kind of get in your way. But Seedoff's going to jump on one of those. You can grab him, throw him into the background, and miss. That's cool. We've got more chances. It's not the only shot we're going to have. He starts shooting out bubbles. The bubbles might hurt you. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten hit by one, so don't worry about them too much. Alright, hit them once. So, jump over on this other spike ball. Those spike balls are pretty cool looking, honestly. Like, the spikes kind of rotate along them, but they rotate in different directions. And it makes them really cool looking, I think. It gives them more of a sense of depth, too, because... I mean, like, everything here is sprite-based, pretty much. The larger enemies, later on in the game, like, the fish is obviously a 3D model. But, like, everything else here is pretty much sprite-based. And, I don't know, those spike balls just have a huge feel of depth to them just because of those spikes rotating around them. I can't exactly remember. I want to say in the Wii version of this fight, that hole in the center of the platform, right to the right there, doesn't actually exist. Like, they filled it in or something, and the spike balls kind of cross over, and they kind of create a little more of a problem. But at the same time, you also don't have to worry about falling into a pit and dying in one hit. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Is he gonna jump on one of these? He's gonna charge after us again. So all I gotta do is wait for him to jump on the spike. Let's do it. There we go. All right. Grab him again. It's kind of tough to get exactly the right camera angle going to throw him into the background because it's going to throw straight forward, and if you miss even a little bit, then it's just not going to count towards you. It's the only real difficult part about this game, is sometimes nailing things in the far background is a lot harder than it should be. Just because sometimes the camera doesn't perfectly work out with you. You got to line it up, you got to make sure everything's working right, because it's constantly moving during this fight too. It'll zoom in and out depending on what attack's going on. Back. Perfect. That was the last hit right there, so. Everything should be better. We just killed... Oh, no, we didn't. No. Just fine. We didn't have to kill anybody. It's a kid-friendly game. Rated E for everyone. Oh, and there's Joka, that douchebag. You want. Oh, so that was the king of Jugpot right there. We just took him out. Get out of here, Joka. Stop complaining about things. Nobody likes you. So the king's pretty confused, and he looks a lot less evil looking now. So it turns out he was under a spell as well as Pamela. But it's fine, we freed both of them. They're all happy and they're happy now. It's alright. So Granny, which is the person we were going to find in the first place, turns out to know a whole lot about the stuff we needed to know. And then Jugpot was under some spell to have water flow backwards to kill off the forest. And that's not good, so we gotta make sure the forest is alive, because forests are awesome, and he's gonna return the water back to normal, so everything should be okay again. Carol's gonna help us out. Seedoff's gonna have him take us back to the forest, so we don't have to do any backtracking or anything. Great, so things are looking up now. This is fantastic. We just freed 2 people from evil spells. We got the forest alive again. Everything's looking pretty good. Here we go, we're back, and there's all the water flowing, and look, everything's green and luscious and alive now. It's fantastic. Can't wait to check it out. Look, there's leaves, and we're very thankful. And thank you, Carol. Alright, let's get on out of here. And back to the little storybook scene. 6 more people, little Jugpotians, playing their music, adding on to everything. It's a nice little tune. It's kind of the theme of the game. You'll hear it later, and it's an important song. So we'll save our game, and we'll continue on to Division 3-1 pretty soon here. See you guys later.